Thank you all very much.
President, what message do you have to Jim Comey ahead of his testimony?
I wish him luck. Thank you, everybody.
I wish him luck. That was President Trump during his meeting with congressional leaders on Tuesday. He was speaking with just under 48 hours until ousted FBI Director James Comey begins his testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee. Now compare the president's comments with a new ad from the pro-Trump Great America Alliance. This spot will run in the hours ahead of Comey's hearing.
As head of the FBI, James Comey put politics over protecting America. James Comey, just another D.C. insider, only in it for himself.
The ad echoes comments the president had made about Comey since his firing. President Trump has counter-programmed past hearings on Russian election meddling by tweeting in real time. On Tuesday, Press Secretary Sean Spicer would not say whether the president plans to watch the hearing.
The president's going to have a very, very busy day, and as he does all the time, and I think his focus is going to be on pursuing the agenda and the priorities that he was elected to do.
Kevin Sheridan is a Republican strategist and was Paul Ryan's communications director during his 2012 vice presidential bid. He is in Washington. Kevin, great to see you. A lot to talk about. Here's what we know of the president's plan for Thursday. He has an infrastructure summit in the morning and gives an afternoon speech to the Faith and Freedom Coalition. Do you think that the White House is trying to counter-program the hearing or just ignore it?
Well, look, the White House is the busiest building on earth and on any given day, and you know, it will continue to be that on Thursday, whether or not a hearing was going on the Hill. However, I don't think anything's likely to break through given the weight and the buildup of that testimony. So I think, you know, unless Donald Trump actually is, President Trump is actually tweeting about it, it's probably not going to break through into that news cycle. Let's just see how what James Comey is actually going to say. He's teed it up to say that it's probably not going to be, you know, a full condemnation of saying that Donald Trump actually tried to intimidate him in any way, because that would actually put FBI Director Comey, former FBI Director Comey, on the hook for not reporting it at the time. So, look, I think Donald Trump is a one-man army. He's his own war room. He'll be able to counter-program this if he wants to. But my guess is he's going to let the testimony play out and then respond to it sometime later that day.
So, Kevin, you say he's his own war room. The White House war room machinery reportedly is not going to come to fruition. There'd been talk of that, and that would have included a dedicated shop to respond to the Russia probe. Do you think that would have been an effective operation for the White House?
Well, I think under a conventional White House in other times, you might have done that. 20 years ago, you saw the Clinton White House put together a war room with legal attack dogs and communications attack dogs that I think they didn't really feel like they had a legal case because their principal, the president at the time, had lied in a deposition under oath. And they decided that they were going to make the special prosecutor the issue, that they were going to make Republicans the issue, and they were going to turn it into a political football. And to a large extent, they won that argument with the American people. They didn't win the legal argument necessarily because Bill Clinton was disbarred, but I don't see that as the same situation here, because Donald Trump, it doesn't seem, has done anything illegal that we know of yet. We probably would have heard something leak out more than we have so far. We've now got an actual special prosecutor, the thing that Democrats have been calling for all this time, who's of impeccable reputation and has full power now to subpoena anybody he wants, to investigate this any way he wants, and to prosecute anyone who misleads him or has done anything wrong. So this hearing is a lot of noise. The signal will come when you know, the special prosecutor decides who to prosecute or not to prosecute, and so far we haven't heard anything that sounds fully illegal yet. Maybe some inappropriate dealings there, but nothing that, you know, skirts the law completely that we know of.
So Michael Isikoff of Yahoo reports that some law firms are turning down requests to represent the president in the Russia probe because of concerns that he won't take their advice. What challenges does that create for the White House, you think?
Yeah, the legal case here is difficult to assess because, as I was saying, I don't know that there's been any legal jeopardy, that anyone's in legal jeopardy right now. Now, clearly, they want to make sure that all of the people that are testifying and getting legal representation of their own, which is an expensive and painful thing for all these poor folks who have to go through this now, that they don't mislead investigators, that they testify fully and honestly, and nothing comes out extraneous to this investigation. But yeah, getting the best legal counsel possible is obviously important. Look, he's the President of the United States. He's going to have legal counsel, whether or not it's one of these 4 firms that was reported on that turns it down or somebody else. He's got Don McGahn in there, who's a very good lawyer. He'll have others. I think he'll be well represented in that regard.
All right, on another issue, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham had interesting comments about health care Tuesday. Let's play a clip.
I think it's a stalled Congress. We led off with health care, which I thought was a mistake. We'll probably have a vote on the health care bill, but the chance of the House and the Senate reconciling our positions on health care is pretty limited. So you can't blame the president for that.
So, Kevin, I'm curious, what do you think of his assessment that the Republican Congress should not have led with health care reform?
Well, they were going to have to address it at some point. You can't campaign on an issue for 7 years, take it to the American voter, get elected time and time again on it, and then do nothing about it. So the way that they put it forward, the House started with it because it had to be done with only Republican votes. Democrats don't want to participate in anything that sounds like it's undoing President Obama's signature accomplishments. So you have to do it only with Republican votes, and that requires reconciliation, a complicated procedure that requires you to then just do it only with one side of the aisle, and then hopefully take the money of the savings that you could get from reforming healthcare and then reform the tax code. That was the theory. That was the plan. They still have a chance to do this. Mitch McConnell says that they want to bring this up before July 4th for a vote. We didn't think it was going to pass the House the first time. It didn't, and then it did. So we still could be in the ballgame. It could still happen. We might be looking at healthcare reform by this summer, or they're going to just have to keep trying because this is something they took to the American people. They can't go back to the voters without doing something about it.
All right, Kevin Sheridan in Washington for us. Kevin, thanks so much.
Thank you.